Welcome back, dear viewers, to Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We return to the vault at the bottom of the spider's nest with our stalwart Boobhammer. We have heroism on. We've got a bunch of scorpions and wasps and a moth of wrath in the middle there. Moth of wrath is really rough. It can cause all of the other monsters to go berserk, and I really don't want to see a berserk Emperor Scorpion. I think that could be incredibly hazardous to our health. So what I want to do is... Is there some way... Yeah, I just want to alert a couple of them. Ooh, and pull them around here. Okay, yeah. Like one Moth of Wrath by itself, that's fine. Get this other Moth of Wrath. Okay, I feel like this is doable. I think I'm going to use Finesse via Okawaru. Cool. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn our stealth skill off. It reached level 4. It's boosted up to level 9 by heroism. For some reason it boosts stealth as well as your combat stats. Pray. Okay, I don't mind fighting this one as well. Since we still have finesse, although heroism has run out, let's refresh that. Since we're fighting these tough dudes, we're really doing well against them though. They're not hurting us much. I feel like we're really strong. Kind of want to be at like absolutely full health because of the slaying bonuses. I don't know if they are. I'm fighting this, by the way, without heroism or finesse to see how much it beats me up. See if I can take it on. I think I can. I don't know if it's like if we get 3.75 slaying at 90% hit points instead of 4 at 100. I don't know what the sort of the cutoff is. If we get partial points benefit from our augmentation mutation. Shield skill is at level 12. That's good. We're pouring a lot of points into shields because we've already reached minimum delay with our Evening Star and our mace here, even without heroism. So getting shields up to 15 will benefit our damage more than points and maces and flails necessarily will. Since at this point we're fairly committed to the shield train. I like it. There's some good shield egos. I think all the resistances have a presence. And there's some cool ones like Reflection. Okay, I think here's the rune. And another Emperor Scorpion. Okay. We will fight you, Emperor Scorpion. Your reign of terror shall end. Ha-ha! And we will eat your flesh. We grab the Gossamer Rune of Zot. And also 3 pieces of ambrosia. That's cool. It's a little bit of mana. It's like a potion of magic as well as food, and it I think confuses you. But we have an Amulet of Clarity, so we're not worried. That's kind of cool because it's basically health for us with our magic shield. It's kind of nice. All right. Let's just do a little bit of auto exploring in case there's other stuff down here. I don't think there is. Yeah, we still don't care about that cloak. Do not care. All right, let's go back to our stash. We cleared a branch. Congratulations to us. Go us. We're awesome. Of course, we're all hungry. Okay, let's drop this ring of positive energy. I'm not really concerned by negative energy attacks prior to certain branches that are, well, rough on us anyway. I'm going to put these ambrosia pieces with our potions. Let's drop these books off. What else? Oh, one of these crossbows needs to go. I kind of like the idea of keeping the crossbow of frost, since we can deal with things that are resistant to cold quite well already. And I like having a varied source of elemental damage in case we come up against something that's resistant to fire. I mean, we can always switch to this, but I like having this crossbow as well. Let's get rid of one of these wands of cold. I have to remember that most of these wands have been drained by that rune of Zot. Like, this wand of heal wounds is by no means reliable. Do I want to get rid of anything else? 6 scrolls of summoning is a huge amount. Okay. Yeah, let's get rid of some of these scrolls. Let's get rid of 5 of them. I think I can only foresee needing 1 scroll of summoning. Well, nah. Let's keep several. Let's keep 2, I guess. We'll save some, because these are going to be super useful in the late dungeon when... Oh, 3 scrolls. 3 scrolls of brand weapon. Maybe I'll rebrand this Evening Star. Crushing isn't great. I'm kind of want to hold out for something more powerful, though, an artifact of some sort. Either a Great Mace or an Evening Star, or even maybe a Morning Star. And I'll just keep this as a backup for fire-resistant monsters. Either that or an Evening Star with a much higher enchantment level before I start messing around with these branding scrolls. Oh, we can definitely get rid of this Cloak of Poison resist. Oh, well, actually, hold on. Isn't it our boots that's giving us resist poison? And we hate these boots. I mean, I guess the magic resistance is cool, but like, even if we took them off, gosh, we'd have 32 armor class. So 3 more armor class. That's not the best. Well, we're still extremely resistant to hostile enchantments, even without that, although I believe that's... Let's see how resistant we are. We're very resistant to hostile enchantments without the boots and without the mace. I'm not sure where all that is coming from. I guess, the Ring of Protection from Magic and our innate resistances. Okay, alright. So, yeah, I think, like, Preservation is great to have on in general, but I think we could just carry around this Cloak of Poison resistance instead of these boots. Oh, but we don't have another source of See Invisible yet, so let's keep that for now. Keep that on for now. We'll drop this cloak until we find a source of See Invisible, and then we will abandon these boots in favor of the cloak and the See Invis. Because eventually things stop poisoning you. Things never stop being invisible. Invisibility is an issue up until the very last levels of the dungeon. I just like all our wands. I don't know if we need to carry around scrolls of Remove Curse. We have 11 of them down there. Well, maybe I'll carry 1 with me. Sorry, I'm kind of dithering around here. I'm just trying to kind of think about what our strategy is. Hit things in the face. Maybe someday cast some spells. I like this hat a lot. It's too bad we're not going to be able to wear it once our horns grow all the way out. But then, I mean, horns growing all the way out, that the extra damage from that might be worth that +5 damage, and we may have a stronger weapon by then anyway. There's no telling when that mutation will occur. Could be level 27, you never know. Okay, well, that being said, where do we want to go next? I believe I've cleared out Orc. Yeah, we have. I seem to recall it being unimpressive. Well, let's double check. If you search for shops and then press exclamation point, you can see in the shops. Oh yeah, spellbooks. Nothing. Oh right, the Shield of the Gong. It's kind of a cool shield, like it gives you resist electric, which is nice. It decreases your evasion, which is a little annoying. It gives you magic and negative energy resist, and it's plus 27. It blocks everything. But every time anything strikes it, it goes gong and is super loud around you. So everything just runs towards you. Everything swarms you all the time, and it's really not worth it. Yeah, so nothing good in any of those. A twisted quarterstaff, that could be interesting. Probably not, though. Its base damage is not great. Oh, 3 scrolls of recharging. That's good to know. We can always buy those if we want for our Wand of Healing. Turn each of them into some number of potions of healing. And identify an enchant armor. Okay, cool. Neat. Neat. Alright, I like to take stock of what's around me, especially since prior to today I hadn't played Boobhammer in quite some time. We also wouldn't be heartbroken about getting rid of these gloves. The accuracy and the dex, I guess, is worth the fact that it doesn't... I guess it removes one... No, we gain an armor class from it. Even though it's a -1 pair of gloves, our armor skill is high enough to get us 2 armor rating out of that. Okay, where are we going next? We've cleared orcs. I feel like we could try elves. Would I rather try elves or shoals? Let's go back. Let's finish out the dungeon. Let's go to dungeon level 14. Or 12, and we'll work our way down. I have my 3 and 4 keys bound to something else permanently. Let's go ahead and explore which staircases these link to. Saves us a little bit of travel time later on. Ooh, a treasure trove. What's the cost of this treasure trove? Should I have been saving things that I've been using? 2 potions of cure mutation. Wow. That's a hefty price. A potion of cure mutation. We have 13 potions. Oh, that's right. Yeah, this is the guy. Oh, this guy is so cool. This is the guy that went through one of the wizard laboratories. Maybe? I guess not. I had somebody that went through a wizard laboratory and got a zillion potions of mutation. Maybe it was this one, I don't know. I hope this manticore lets us eat it. Nope. No corpse for us. We're hungry. Very, very hungry. Okay, so we haven't explored all of 14 yet. Was there anything here? There are no level notations, but just a lot of stuff lying around. Okay. I feel like it's been a long time since we were in the dungeon. Unseen horror? Sure. See, this is why you have see invis, because unseen horrors are a huge pain if you can't see invis. Sorry, I abbreviate invisible to invis. Just, I mean, it's the abbreviation in the game. It's, I don't know, easier to say. So, in case you were wondering, invis is invisible. Man, having these few points in stealth is really cool. I feel like we're quite stealthy. Yeah, I feel like it's helping us out a lot. Like, things just aren't noticing us. Everything's asleep when we walk into the room. We get to take a look at the enemies. Like, we almost walked straight up to that guy before he even woke up. That's really neat. I forget about stealth sometimes when I've had a few, like, bash characters in a row. What's this? +5 Ring of Intelligence. Wow. If we wear that and Wizardry, what happens? Oh, these things are kinda castable. Reasonably castable without the shield. Good to know. I still like having these on. I mean, I have those spells memorized just kind of to remember that they exist, and because, you know, conceivably someday I'll cast them. Bam, just walked right up to it. Ooh, a ruined Morning Star. That's worth looking into. We have 1 billion scrolls of Remove Curse. +2, +4 Morning Star of Protection. We're still fairly stealthy even without the mace. I guess from our gloves and our few skill points. If we're still incredibly resistant to hostile enchantments, maybe I'll use this Morning Star. 17 damage total. This one would be 16. This technically has better accuracy. No additional damage. The brand does help with that. I'm mostly considering just for the armor class, but we'll hang on to it. It's cool. I like it. If it were an Evening Star of Protection, we might even switch over. Get that extra 2 damage and 1 accuracy. Ah, Okawaru. What did you give us? A glowing Demon Whip. That actually is probably not bad for us. +3, +0 Demon Whip of Draining. So it does 11 base damage. That's not as much as this. Draining's cool, though. And that hits pretty fast. If we're fighting a monster, maybe that's resistant to flame. Ooh, the Ring of the Mage. Wizardry, 2 levels of magic resist, and int +3. No reason not to wear that instead of this. That's awesome. That's really cool. Wow. That also makes us just massively resistant. That's great. That's a really good ring. I mean, it makes these just a couple points away from being castable. Let's get our shields up to 15. Let's see what they're like with no penalty from shields. I could test that by removing the shield, but I don't want to train spells yet. I think I did that too early in one of my other characters. I didn't spend quite enough time. Have I identified Amulets of Faith? Yeah, I have. Okay, so there's no harm in trying this on. Amulet of Rage. That's good to have. That's really cool. I like that. We have some great equipment, guys. Even this is tolerable. Man, we snuck all the way up on that mana core. I just like this character so much. Boobhammer is strong. As stupid as the name is. I wonder if it was late at night when I started this character, and he just kind of took off in spite of my intention for it to be a short run. I feel like that's what happened. I mean, I've obviously played Mutation Roulette. I have, yeah, a penalty to my intelligence. We'd be even stronger than we are now if I hadn't played Mutation Roulette. Although I guess Sharp Toenails, Fire Resistance is. I would gladly take a 2-point reduction in my intelligence for permanent fire resistance, which is what we have. Sonya, depending on how you want to pronounce it. A graceful kobold assassin, admire her graceful pirouettes, thrill at her daring leaps, but watch out for her knives. She looks easy, though. I think we could take her. Blowgun, psh, whatever. Short Sword of Venom. Oh, she had Curare Needles. Those are actually kind of dangerous. Yeah. They slow you and poison you and take your breath away, so you can't use breath weapons like Spit Poison or Draconian's breath weapons. I believe there used to be a background. Yeah, there was a background called the Priest. Or I guess it's just any follower of Zin has a recitation that like smites evil things and demons and whatnot. And you can't do that if you are out of breath. I like this sort of weird little like mini vault thing that we've got going on here. Oh, a shapeshifter. That's cool. I'm not going to play more Mutation Roulette because I have enough good mutations that I am interested in keeping to not want to have to drink a potion of Cure Mutation and risk losing any of them. The Skeleton Warrior was the most dangerous of those enemies, so I tried to save him for last. Sometimes I go for the most dangerous enemy first, but because I was a little bit unsure of how powerful that Tengu was, and I knew that he was frailer than others. Anyway. Slime creatures are only dangerous when they get larger. Here we have some ruined gloves. They might just be cursed, but we have a billion scrolls of... Okay, so a +1 glove of strength. Is that worth... How stealthy are we? We're still stealthy. I don't know. Armor class 31 versus 29. Strength of 22 and dex of 20 versus 19 and 22. Like, I don't know that any of these things are particularly relevant. 28 shields versus 28 shields, yeah. I guess the accuracy +4 is kind of cool, although we have such a high bonus on that on this mace anyway. A total of +11. I'm going to keep wearing these just for the stealth bonus. I like it. I like being stealthy. But we'll hang on to these. We won't just abandon them. An octopode! Flat. Man, this is a really cool little mini vault. I like it. I like when this sort of thing shows up in the dungeon. It's fun. Add some flavor. Like, what's at the end of this little maze? I'm really curious. I want to know. We'll find out together, dear viewers. Ooh. Those guys were awake. We'll make them come to us. Thank you very much. So it was no problem. Yeah, this guy's great. He's really, really strong. I don't want to get, you know, cocky like that Dagger of Distortion. If he'd hit us with it, could have cast us into the abyss. And that could have easily have killed us. Though I almost feel like, I mean, we took on, what were they, Blizzard Demons earlier? I almost feel like we could survive the abyss for a little bit. Probably not. We're probably not strong enough to reach the Abyssal Rune. The Abyssal Rune of Zot. I don't feel that confident, but... Did we get to go into the labyrinth? Or did we miss out on it? That would be too bad. I feel like maybe we went through it. I can't tell if this would have let us know. I don't know. But we do have... Do we have a... Yeah, we have the Gossamer Rune of Zot. That's right weird little squiggly bracket, not square bracket, but shift bracket. I don't know what the name of that key is. Or that keyboard symbol, that typeface symbol. Maybe it's the same as written, maybe not. I don't know the written version either. An Ultra Fedasmadash. We can just ignore these fruits. We can always find them later. I don't care that much. Ah, the vaults! The vaults, the vaults, the vaults. We might do that. The vaults are tough, especially the last layer. I've lost a few characters recently to the last layer of the vaults. So I don't think I'll start. I don't think I'll even start with those yet. I feel like we could stand to be a fair bit stronger before getting there. I want to have our shields all the way up to 15, so we're not penalized by wearing a regular shield. Hopefully find like a shield of reflection or something, which bounces projectiles back at their source. Those are really good. Free damage is not something to scoff at in this game, especially when it scales with the monster you're fighting and not you. Can just make some otherwise impossible fights winnable. See how we fare against this hill giant. Quite well. Quite well. Need to remember to pray. There are macros that like auto pray for you. I haven't messed with those yet, just because I, you know, I don't want to automate too much of this game ever. Like even the auto explore algorithm can shields 13. That's good. The auto explore algorithm by itself can mess you up, and that's a very carefully designed part of this game. I don't know what my tinkering would do to it. Book of Clouds. Mephitic Cloud could be interesting. Conjure Flame could be interesting. Poisonous and Freezing Clouds, not so much. Ring of Flames, not so much. A Mimic. Yeah, we're really strong, I feel. Ooh. We're not immune to petrification, though, and that Catoblepus is... Catoblepus? Catobletus? Catoblepus? I don't know. Whatever it is, we're beating it up. So I have no clue what to put points into here. Strength, intelligence, dexterity. I feel like we're strong enough for pretty much anything. I mean, part of that's our bonuses and whatnot. I generally err towards putting into intelligence because the longer the game goes, the more spellcasting becomes beneficial to us. And even just having a handful of utility spells at our disposal is going to be really nice and much more facilitated by a high intelligence than our damage would be with strength or dex increases. I don't foresee us switching to like super heavy armor. I mean, unless we find an artifact crystal plate armor, or I don't know, I think there's an artifact gold dragon armor. Those are the like only two things I would consider switching to away from this pearl dragon armor, just because pearl dragon armor is so efficient. 10 base armor rating and only at 11 encumbrance. That's really good. It provides us with a lot of bang for our buck and still lets us be somewhat evasive. And I can always boost my strength. Yeah, I think we're going to go with intelligence. I'm not going to make the mistake that I did with other characters and force us skill-wise into spells yet. But I want to be prepared in the later game. Oh, yep, there goes our hat. Our horns reached max level. So we can never again wear headgear. Which is kind of a shame. I like that hat a lot. It was cool. Damage plus 5 is really nice. It's very strong. And the Dex plus 3 probably did something. Gave us a couple of armor class points. So it's a sad loss, but we got our auxiliary melee attack back in our horns. Yeah, like we had better the Goliath Beetle. That was good. I'm okay with it, especially with augmentation. I believe that boosts the power of our headbutt. Yeah, I just feel like we're unstoppable. We're certainly not unstoppable. That is a term that does not exist in this game. You are always stoppable. I just feel like we're in a good place, power curve wise. I feel like we can take on the shoals. I feel fairly confident in saying that. Yeah. Ruined broadaxe, don't care. We're not wielding axes. One reason why I don't tend to wield axes as frequently as I do maces, even though axes are very good, they have a cleaving effect that hits everything in a semicircle around you, so everything to your left, right, forward, forward, left, and forward, right tiles. Forward being the direction you're swinging your axe. Even though that's really cool, it's really not useful when you're dealing with hydras. Hydras will just munch you. They'll ruin your day. Maces and flails, you don't have that problem. Also, ultimately, the highest level maces and flails, I believe, are more damaging than the highest level axes. Though not so damaging as some swords. I think swords have the highest damage in the game. I'm not entirely sure about this. It might be like giant spiked clubs have the highest damage in the game, but we can't wield those. Only larger races can wield those, like trolls. What? Oh, we're carrying around so much junk. I feel like we just have so much stuff that we're not using. A lot of these weapons are probably useless. I'm gonna get rid of this Morningstar of Protection. I don't foresee us needing it. I really don't. So let's just pick up this Potion of Brilliance, which we may want later. We don't care about a normal pair of gloves. Unseen Horrors, no big deal. Use the tab key, hunt him down. See another Potion of Brilliance. I'm glad we decided to drop that. Morningstar. It's not like I'm trying to be, like, micromanagey with my inventory. Sometimes you end up carrying something around for a bunch of levels, and that's a very ugly thing. Very ugly things are actually kind of dangerous. Boggarts are really dangerous. They summon so many creatures. Yeah, all of those creatures came from one boggart. And they're evasive. They're just... If we didn't have See Invisible, we would be in a whole bundle full of trouble. As it is, I'm not too concerned. We got 6 somewhere in there. That's too bad. Shapeshifter, interesting. This is a tough little area. I bet this is the entrance to the depths. As of 0.14, they shortened the dungeon levels and added the depths, which are sort of like harder dungeon levels. They're not quite the Realm of Zot, but they're certainly a step above the dungeon in terms of power level. It might be worth checking out the first level just to kind of see how we are strength-wise. Yeah, like Yaktars, you find those in the vaults. Same thing with Ettins and Ice Dragons. Ettin, Ice Dragon. They're strong. Those are really strong things. We're just gonna back out. You know, peace. We'll have to face those next time we come back, but we don't plan on coming back anytime soon. They'll probably wander away from the entrance by then. What we are going to do is we're going to go back to our stash, drop off some stuff. Kind of wish we had a ring of sustenance for these stash trips. Keeping a stash is not necessary, by the way. I like it. It helps me just keep my brain clear. Let's get rid of a couple of these wands. We don't need a wand of slowing. I don't know how many charges this wand of teleportation has left. Let's try it. Let's see if we can... Yeah, no charges left. So since we have 3 scrolls of teleportation, let's ditch the wand for a little bit. We can recharge it later if we want. Are we really going to need protection from magic? I feel like we're never going to need this ring of protection from magic. Like, the circumstances where we put that on are so unlikely to occur. Now that we have this little guy, this is a fantastic ring. Wizardry, 2 pips of magic resistance, and 3 intelligence. It's just got it. It has it all. I don't think we'll ever wear this +5 ring of intelligence. That's a lot of intelligence. It's kind of nice. Maybe if we go a more spellcasty route, we'll come back for it. We don't need another ring of wizardry. They don't stack very well. They do stack, but not very well. There's a lot of diminishing returns that you have to fight through. I just feel like we're not evoking invisibility very frequently. Let's go through our potions before we decide to use a Cloak of Darkness. Especially since we can't switch to that in battle. So it's not an escape thing, it's a planning deal. I'm super articulate. I like carrying one of these around in case of fire-resistant monsters. I think I prefer the Evening Star at this point, though we can drain a monster very rapidly with the minimum delay on this weapon. But I think that the tipping point for me is going to be that this is a demon whip, and we are a Demonspawn. So I think we get a slight bonus to damage with it. It's comparable to a few additional points of damage enchantment. So let's say that this is a +3/+3 whip of draining. That would give it a damage of 14, as opposed to this guy's 16. It's a lower minimum delay. Yeah. I think that clinches it. We're gonna try out this demon whip as our backup weapon. Draining does reduce the experience reward from the monster that has been drained slightly, but not enough to be of a concern to us. I really want to get wounded so I can try out this Wand of Heal Wounds and see if it still has charges. I know that's a silly thing to say, but like I don't want to just burn a charge for no reason. Alright, where do we want to go? I think we want to go to the shoals. I think we can take on the first couple of levels of the shoals. I feel fairly confident of this. And then, you know, we might... Is that other whip better? No, surely not. Then we might check out the vaults. But for now, shoals. To the shoals. We have an Amulet of Clarity, which I consider necessary for the shoals, because of sirens and mermaids. Now, we are not a gargoyle on this run, so we are not immune to drowning. We have to be careful if these water elementals engulf us like that. Yeah, our lungs were straining for air. I don't know if that can just kill us. I hope not. But I know that it does a lot of damage very quickly if you let it stack up. It's kind of like Constriction. The longer that the status effect is applied to you, the more dangerous it is. We have a Ring of Flight that we can put on if we need to, for getting around. The shoals are, in some ways, more dangerous for us because we cannot fly. In some ways, they're much more convenient because we don't have to worry about, like, accidentally auto-exploring over the ocean and getting caught by a kraken or a bunch of harpies or merfolk that move extra fast and get bonuses. Like, I think that was how one of our prior characters died here in the shoals, was just flying around over... over the water, and we couldn't get out. We got hit by a giant wave and died. It was very sad. I really liked that character. I thought we were doing pretty well. But, I mean, as much as I like that character, I think this one is stronger. I really feel like we're in a better position. Like, the other one was a gargoyle, which was nice because we had a lot of natural resistances and immunities. But we have basically all of those now anyway, except for, like, electric and rotting. And those are kind of situational anyway. I feel like we're just really tough. Oh, yikes. This is scary. It's a very scary situation. We may not survive this. Let's take care of that guy. Let's move up here. I'm kind of taking care of these. Let's get our... Oh, wow. We were teleported by Isel. Let's back off a little bit. Let's get in the doorway here. Let's try and pull them through, actually. I feel like this is safer. Yeah. I feel like that was the safe way to do this. Question is, do I want to burn the piety and whatnot for... Let's at least rest until our poison goes away, and then head back down here. The reason why I did it like that is because I kind of wanted to make use of our finesse while we still had it. Oh, or it could have been a great sort of distortion that blinked us. Or teleported us. Or the wand of teleportation. Wow. See, that great sort of distortion could have sent us straight to the abyss. Again, I feel like that's not necessarily something that would be fatal for us at this point. It would certainly be tricky. Do we have hunger on something? I feel like we're getting hungry awfully fast. Maybe it's just that we're eating contaminated chunks, and so we're not getting as much nutrition from them. But I don't think we have a sped up metabolism. Hey, come pay attention to us. Oh, it's a merfolk javelineer. That's rough. Those guys hurt. Javelins are a very powerful ranged weapon. I get so nervous fighting in even shallow water in the shoals because the tides move. And I don't know if in this version you can just be swallowed up by deep water or not. I know in previous versions you could, if you were not careful where you were resting, for example. If the tides could just drown you out of nowhere. Not fun. Not a fun way to die. It definitely feels like you're being cheated. I think they may have removed that feature. Possibly. I would certainly be thankful if they had. I'll probably end this video after I sort of clear out this level. Partly because I don't want to get too overconfident. I feel like we were at a good level of confidence at the beginning of this video, and we've kind of crept out of that. Our Amulet of Clarity is protecting us from this mermaid's mesmerize effect. Mesmerization means that you can't walk away from the monster. You can only walk towards them. Or laterally, I guess. So, it's very interesting. Aw, Nicola. Crap. We don't have resist electricity. Do we have anything? Do we have anything that lets us resist electricity? I feel like we do somewhere. Maybe I'm thinking of another character. Apparently it's another character. We have a potion of resistance, and that's about it. Nicola is just really strong. He's a bad man. So let's stay out of line of sight of him. Let's just abandon this Shoals plan. I don't want to come back here until I have a source of resist electricity. That's how scared I am of Nicola. I'm willing to completely write off that branch. I mean, not forever, but enough so that I want to go somewhere else first. Maybe elf? We are super resistant to hostile enchantments, so we don't have to worry too much about the non-offensive spells. We have some sources of resist fire and cold. I could just switch this over to an extra 9 pseudo hit points versus protection from cold. Yeah, let's just put on for protection from cold. And we've got 2 pips of protection from fire. Yeah, I feel like this is a decent setup for the Elven Halls. Now, the fact that we've been on the first level and left kind of worries me. I don't know what we left there. Hopefully we find some... Oh, well, there's an Orc Sorcerer here. Those guys are tough. Oh, come on! Okwaru is being a real jerk, giving us crossbows. This is the... Oh, crossbow of evasion. I guess that's kind of cool. Whatever. It's not all that great. Yeah. Not very great. We're just going to leave it here. That's the danger of putting any points into your ranged weapon skills, is because you'll get god gifts for them just randomly for no good reason. It's really frustrating. Anyway, oh yeah, I remember venturing in here. I think, yeah, this was where I encountered that wizard laboratory. That was fun. I think I made it all the way through the sort of abomination lair or laboratory. Wizard laboratories are vault-like branches. They're completely pre-designed. The monsters are somewhat random, but the structure is the same each time, or chosen from a very few select patterns. Yeah, and we have conservation, so we don't have to worry about our scrolls or our potions. I mean, it's still possible for them to be destroyed, but highly unlikely. Especially since we're going to be resisting a lot of attacks anyway. I feel pretty confident that we can take out the Elven Halls, especially since we are stealthy. Like, it's making such a huge difference. I'm really glad that we put a few points into that. I may even... Once we get shields to 15, I'll turn it off. And I'll turn stealth back on, I think. I like this a lot. I just feel like it's helping us close these distances a lot better than we might otherwise be able to. This is a great area if you are a swords wielder. There are a ton of enchanted swords in the Elven Halls. I guess, like, if you're an elf, the Elven Halls are good for you. Pretty much any kind of elf. Unless you're going way against your aptitudes, which, you know, you can do. It's crawl. You can go crazy. What is he doing? He's just blinking and hasting and dashing around. Just bothersome. Scroll of Amnesia, maybe useful. We just snuck up and bashed that harpy in the face. We're gonna kill the High Elf Priest, or the Deep Elf High Priest. Smiting is always a big fear when you're a Demonspawn, because it deals extra damage to you since you're unholy. Oh, I said I was going to stop the video after a bit, but we're already in the Elven Halls, and some of these videos are half an hour, some of them are an hour. I kind of like the longer format. It lets me sort of keep going with my train of thought. I feel like I'm in a good place here. This could be kind of scary. Elven Halls 3, by the way, there are only 3 levels of elf, as you can see on this screen. Book Emporium. We don't like book emporiums. Oh, there's a manual of stealth. It's really expensive. Almost 2,000 gold. That's most of our gold. That seems too expensive. Stealth is not a key skill for us. It's cool that we have a few points in it. I like it. But we're not stabbers. We're still fighter at heart. too worried about this guy. This is like where Abjuration might have come in handy if we could reliably cast it, which we can't yet. Not even close. It won't kill us if we miscast it. But, you know, we're still wasting a turn, pretty much. Though we could always just pop a Potion of Brilliance and see how that turns out for us. We have 5 of them. That's a ton. Potions of Brilliance, Might, and Agility, which increase Intelligence, Strength, and Dexterity, respectively, as well as Spell Power, Evasion, and Damage. I forget which order I set them in. But anyway, yes, Might increases damage and strength and whatnot. This is a weird elf, too. I feel like this is a little more vault-like than I'm used to seeing it. Like, I feel like the center area is just going to be really tough. Even though I know this isn't the final vault, which we won't be doing right now. The Elf 3 is an order of magnitude more difficult than Elves 1 and 2. Even more so, I feel, than many of the other branches. Like, all the branches, the bottom layer is... the bottom layer is a lot harder than the others. But Elf, even though there isn't a rune in here, gets really super hard at the end. It's chock full of Deep Elf Annihilators, which are very, very powerful conjurers. They throw massive spells at you. And High Priests and Demonologists that summon like level 4 and 5 demons, and Blade Masters that just attack super fast and slice you up. It's super deadly. Like, I'm being kind of cavalier about this layer of Elf. I'm not worried. Somebody actually managed to drain us. That's not too bad. Drain just reduces your skills a little bit for each level of it that you have. It's not too bad. Yeah, it goes away as you gain experience. There's no other way to cure it. Except maybe through some god effects. I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and enchant our armor a little bit further. I love this Pearl Dragon armor. Like, it's not the most useful of the armors, I would say. Like, Gold Dragon is definitely the most useful armor. It gives you both fire and cold resist. And maybe electric resist or poison resist or something cool. Like, it's awesome. But this Pearl Dragon armor gives us negative energy resist, which, while not the most useful of resistances, is still handy. Like, in here, for example, we're bumping into things with draining attacks, and having just a pip of resistance against that is nice. It's convenient. It's an added perk to having a great armor class to encumbrance rating ratio. One of the best in the game. If not the best. And I don't recall the fact that it has a lower global damage reduction than some other armors is a factor. No, it's still 39% damage reduction, or guaranteed damage reduction rather. It's the 4th most in the game. 3rd most. It's tied for 3rd most. Only Gold Dragon armor and Crystal Plate armor have higher armor class and guaranteed damage reduction. Yeah, I don't see any reason to ever switch away from this, because, I mean, it skyrockets up in encumbrance rating beyond here. I'm very happy with our Pearl Dragon armor, and I want to keep enchanting it all the way up. The reason why I'm saving a scroll of enchant armor back at the stash is in case I desperately need the resistances from Gold Dragon armor in a future branch, and I find a Gold Dragon and defeat the Gold Dragon and butcher its corpse, and it leaves a hide. That's a lot of ifs, but it's still, I mean, all those ifs are worth keeping a scroll of enchant armor around. Yeah, see, our life force is restored. We're fine. Lots of wands of teleportation. It's kind of nice. They're sort of handy. Teleportation isn't as good of a panic button as you want it to be, ever. It's good, don't get me wrong. It's nice to have a source on hand, and it's why stasis is such a tricky ability to play with. Like, Formicids are permanently in a state of stasis. Some effects put stasis on you. It's good, but it's not the best. I would say controlled blink is the best escape button in the game. Except maybe, like, Luganu's escape buttons, which are just absurd. Luganu lets you, like, enter the abyss if you need to, or banish things to the abyss, although they can resist. Entering the abyss is just a guaranteed freebie. Javelins of returning. I kind of want to take those. I don't know. They're not great. Ooh, a Zot Trap? Yikes. Well, I'm glad we didn't step on that. In fact, we've explored all of this. Let's just... You're starving. Yeah, whatever. We can always eat some permafood if we need to. Okay, we've taken on this level. I'll poke my head into Elf 3 and read a scroll of magic mapping, just so we know in the future what we're dealing with. Down here, this is the vault. It's the... I think I've seen this structure several times. It's like, it looks like it's not too large, but I feel like every single space contains a really strong elf. And sometimes, like, these magical golems that toss around, like, the reason why it's dangerous is that the Deep Elf Annihilators can cast Lehudib's Crystal Spear, which is a massively, massively damaging spell. It can... I think it can one-shot us. Right now. Like, it can just kill us in one hit. Maybe. I might be exaggerating slightly. I think it's 3d28. So, 3 times it rolls a 28-sided die to see what its damage deals. What damage it deals. And that might be reduced by our guaranteed damage reduction by our armor. But that's still... ouch. It still hurts. So we're going to explore a little bit of this. We're starving. Oops. Well, that makes us slightly less efficient in combat, but I'm not worried. We're just beating everybody up. We don't even care. One of these guys will leave a corpse. That's how strong I feel right now. I'm risking fighting 5 guys simultaneously outside of a hallway while starving, just so I can more rapidly satiate my hunger. That's stupid. That's stupid play. We're gonna leave right now. In fact, we're gonna leave. We're gonna go back to our stash, and we're gonna end this video. I'm being reckless, cavalier, as it were, and there's no need to do that. I like this character a lot. I don't want to die a stupid death. Dear viewers, you may stop the video now. I'm just going to be doing some stash stuff for the rest of this video. If you want to stick around and hear my ramblings while I stash, that's fine. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video. I may or may not come back to Boobhammer, but if I do, we can continue to enjoy them together. So long, those of you who are not weird like me and like listening to people talk about their stashes. Okay, we're going to stash our food. And we have a lot of scrolls of branding now. I'm kind of tempted to rebrand this Demon Whip and try and get a brand of Electrocution. Because Demon Whips have such a fast minimum delay, you can hit twice per turn with these. That's great. That's really, really nice. That's a good threshold to have to hit. And that's without finesse. We get even faster than that. I think we can get down to 0.4 or maybe even 0.3. So maybe like 3 hits per turn, but certainly 5 hits in 2 turns with this whip. And we do decent damage with it. I may rebrand it because draining is not useful against most late game enemies. Undead are basically immune to it. Demons are basically immune to it. And undead and demons are going to be our primary concerns later on. Like, it'll still work on things like dragons, but meh. I'm really considering rebranding this a couple of times until we get something better, and then enchanting it way up. Since we're not likely to find that much of a better weapon than this. Like, an Evening Star might be better. Let's see, what's the minimum delay on an Evening Star? 0.7. And has 4 more base damage at the cost of Oh, well, but it doesn't have 4 more base damage. It really has, like, 1 or 2 more base damage, because we're a demon. I mean, this is part of the reason to be a Demonspawn, is so you can wield these weapons efficiently. I kind of want to try it. Let's give it a shot. Let's wheel it just in case. I think branding has changed so that you can select which weapon to mix. If you the way branding works is if you take a regular weapon, like a weapon with no brand, and cast a branding spell on it, like fire sword or ice sword or whatever, everything except for pain, you then read a scroll of brand weapon and it fixes that brand onto it, makes it permanent. If it already has a brand, it just shuffles it around and gives it a different random brand. So we have a number of scrolls of branding, and they're not going to be that useful to us otherwise. I think this is kind of the best thing we can do with branding. And, like, we're not following Ashinzari, so we can't just funnel our maces and flails into swords at one point. We'd have to train up from scratch, and that's a huge pain. So unless we have a very compelling reason to go swords very late in the game when we're not doing anything else with our experience, I think that this is kind of the coolest thing we're going to find, short of an artifact. And these scrolls don't work on artifacts anyway, so why use them? Let's clean up our inventory a little bit. I don't know that we have anything that we need to identify, but might as well hang on to it. Get rid of this book. I mean, I feel like this crossbow is a little bit silly sitting in our inventory, but better safe than sorry, really. Honestly. I don't think we're ever going to use this amulet, if I'm speaking frankly. Like, Gourmand is a cool effect, but it's really useful early on before you are powerful enough to kill stuff without having to rest in between. We just have so many things. This guy has found just treasure after treasure. One thing we can do, and I think will do, actually, is identify this Wand of Heal Wounds. Okay, so it's empty. We're going to fix that. We're going to go grab our scrolls of recharging. If you identify a wand, you forever know how many charges it has. Charge which item? You can charge rods. You can recharge them instantaneously with a scroll of recharging. It's kind of a waste, though. Yeah, 5 charges on our Wand of Heal Wounds. That's neat. That's really good to have. That's a great panic button. Because it's like having 5 more potions of Heal Wounds now. Plus we have 2 more of those scrolls. We have potentially 10 extra Heal Wounds potions. That's pretty sweet. Those are just potions of mutation. Oh, that's right. This is the potion pile. What do we want to drop here? Let's drop these 5 potions of brilliance. We don't really need them. Let's get rid of agility and might. Like, I feel like we're beyond the point where those are really useful. Like, Berserk Rage is good. Resistance, having a couple of those is good. Haste is great. I like having 3 haste and 2 invisibility, although invisibility is going to start falling off soon. Yeah, all these others I feel like we can keep. I'm going to drop a couple of these. Yeah, because we didn't have any in reserve yet. In fact, let's drop a 3rd. Just in case we, you know, get a bunch of these shattered or something. I feel like this wand is going to treat us right. Now, let's drop one of these wands of teleportation. I like having a wand of fire and a wand of cold and a wand of disintegration. I think this set of wands will last us for the rest of the game. And we'll ditch these at some point when they start to lose out on their usefulness. This will have for the rest of the game, this will have for the rest of the game, this will have for the rest of the game. Digging's really useful when it comes to, like, sneaking into vaults or, you know, just bypassing an enemy or digging a hidey hole or running away. It's really good. It's really good to have. It's a good effect. Okay, cool. Alright, so now let's go over here so we're not distracted, and let's play the branding game. It's a whip of venom. We don't want venom. We want something better than venom. We can do better than venom. Freezing. Okay, freezing's okay. I'd probably be okay with leaving it with freezing. I'm going to look up freezing brand and see. Let's see. It's. I mean, very few things are resistant or immune to. Very few things are immune to cold damage. A number of things are resistant, but you know, that's fine. It's great against cold-blooded monsters. Though we don't have the swamps or the snake pits where that would be really useful. Draconians in the Realm of Zot, are nice. I'm partially reading this off of the wiki page, partially reciting from memory, just things. I know it's better on high damage weapons. It's determined... okay, yeah, the extra cold damage is based on the amount of normal weapon damage we get past an enemy's armor class. So that's fine, because we're going to... we're going to enchant it up a bit here. And it already has a couple extra levels of effective enchantment because we're a Demonspawn. And it hits fast. So I feel like this is a strong weapon. I feel like it's a powerful weapon. It's a great counterpoint to our fire mace. It's even faster than our fire mace, in fact, and stronger. Or maybe stronger, depending on how much we're able to enchant it here. We have 3 scrolls of Enchant Weapon 2, 2 of Enchant Weapon 1, I guess none of Enchant Weapon 3. That's too bad. But I think we could just kind of pour Enchant Weapon scrolls into this from now on. Cool. Getting stronger and stronger. Neat. It's a +5/+0. I think this was a god gift. I think that was Okawaru having our back. I feel like it's really good. Even though it doesn't have any damage enchantment yet, but let's get a few points of that on there. There's 1, 2, 3. All right, swing and a hit. Yeah, I feel like this is really strong now. I might even use it for a little while. Although the stealth bonus from this is cool. Fairly stealthy as opposed to quite stealthy. Yeah, I think I'll just keep this on as a default. Since the damage, let's see, 15, 14 plus, let's say 2 to be conservative, maybe 3, maybe 4. I don't know how much exactly the demon, being a demon, helps out with that. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. Yeah, demon whips, huh? The wiki says they're generally considered to be the best one-handed weapon in the game. That's kind of cool. Oh, maybe. Oh, geez. That's too bad. I guess we no longer get a bonus for being Demonspawn and wielding demon whips. It says prior to 0.14, they dealt slightly more damage than normal in the hands of Demonspawn characters. I guess parts of it haven't, parts of the wiki haven't been upgraded to the most recent trunk version. I mean, it's still powerful. It's still strong. Yeah, it says they're better with brands that like pain, electrocution, pain, or distortion. I don't like pain because it's not useful in the late game. I'm not a huge fan of distortion because sometimes like I'll be hitting something that I want to use as a meat shield and it'll blink away before I'm ready for it to die. Though distortion is a powerful effect, but like sometimes it'll banish things to the abyss and we won't get experience for that. Or we might get experience proportional to the amount of damage we've dealt. I think I'm okay with freezing. I like it as a counterpoint, and I think we're still going to put points of damage, like scrolls of enchant weapon, into this one. I don't, however, think I'm going to continue to try and rebrand it, because it might end up back as like Venom, which will be useless later on, or I don't know, something dumb. So this is kind of cool. This artifact is nice, and we're going to keep it on just because the stealth bonus is more useful prior to engaging in a fight, and it's easier to swip over this whip. But it's pretty neat. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, and I think I'll end this video here, dear viewers. Thanks for watching. If you stuck around to the end of this little stash session, thank you especially for, you know, listening to me just sort of ramble on. But thanks, and I'll see you next time.